Oh, hello folks, this is Steve A. for you. In a certain sort of way, this is going to be a trip in the Wayback Machine. Now, I'm not promoting anything, I'm not recommending anything. This is heavily, in a real sense, reminiscing. So you know that one of my tabs when I open my browser is /. News for Nerds. And today, I noticed a little earlier, I have to scroll down. Oh, there's so much big news going on. But especially this one down here, which is almost being kicked off the end of the page. It's 7:40 p.m. Friday, the 30th of August, 2024. Something important was announced today. So the little blurb here, AnandTech shuts down after 27-year run. AnandTech, this is an online site, a website. Now remember, 27 years ago, that's what they're implying. It's 2024. 24 years ago would be the year 2000. So we're talking about somewhere around 1997. AnandTech, a pioneering technology news website, is shutting down after 27 years on August 30th, today, 2024. Founded in 1997 by Anand, see AnandTech, ANANDTECH, founded in 1997 by Anand Lal Shimpi, the site earned a reputation for in-depth hardware reviews and technical analysis. In a final post on the site, AnandTech Editor-in-Chief Ryan Smith cited changing market dynamics. Nobody's looking there anymore. For written technical journalism, everybody wants YouTube, right? Or Reddit. As a primary reason for closure, the site's 21,500 articles will remain accessible indefinitely, hosted by publisher, and then they name it. Why am I pointing this out to you? Now here's the website. End of the road, an AnandTech farewell, and the style of this is the way the site was. So if you were interested in AMD processors, you'd be looking at articles here. If you were interested in SSDs, this is a place I came to research some. This is evaluations about them and the different formats they are, their technical details, all of that. Kioxy details by CS8 NAND at 2024, 218 layers with superior scaling. At that booth at the show was one of the busy ones with multiple technology demonstrations. And so you go to the article and, okay? But it's end of the road. It's with great sadness that I find myself penning the hardest news post I've ever needed to write here at AnandTech. After over 27 years of covering the wide and wild world of computing hardware, today is AnandTech's final day of publication. A lot of things have changed in the last quarter century. In 1997, NVIDIA had yet to even coin the term GPU. And we've been fortunate to watch the world of hardware continue to evolve. Desktop laptops that today we charitably classify as portable desktops to pocket computers where even the cheapest budget device cheapest budget device of today puts the fastest PC of 1997 to shame. Okay. Why is this nostalgia? Let's go to Wikipedia. Remember, they mentioned who started it. Anand, A-N-A-N-D. And if you don't know, that's an Indian personal name. Anand Lal Shimpi, born on June 26, 1982, is a former tech journalist and American businessman who is the founder of the technology website AnandTech. He named it after himself. A hardware news and review site. He retired at the age of 32 from that site, from the publishing industry to join the hardware division at Apple Incorporated. He wrote a book in 2001 called The AnandTech Guide to PC Gaming Hardware, 2001. Now let's get the next paragraph. This is where the nostalgia comes in. Pay attention. Anand Lal Shimpi, started AnandTech when he was 15 years old. The site originally focused, this was a website. The site originally focused on the motherboard reviews. I used to read every article that came out. Yes, back in 1997. He was living with his family in Cary, North Carolina, and I was living in Raleigh. If you don't know, Raleigh, Cary's right there. The site was originally focused on motherboard reviews and was hosted on a website called GeoCities. Over a period of 17 years, the site grew to be one of the most respected sites for tech reviews. Now, I want to focus on him. Anand was born to Laushan Shimpi, that's his father's name, an Indian-born computer science professor at St. Aug's, which is a private college in Raleigh, which has been in the news in the last month, on the verge of closing, bankruptcy. It's over on the east side of Raleigh, along 64, but Business 64. When he was born to Laushan Shimpi, an Indian-born computer science professor at St. Aug's, and Razia, an Iranian-born teacher in Raleigh. When Shimpi was in 3rd grade, how old would that be? 8 years old? When Shimpi was in 3rd grade, his father enrolled him in a computer course. He built his first PC in 6th grade. So when was he born? 82, 6th grade, it's about 11. So that's around 93, yep. He built his first PC in 6th grade, and I bought my first PC clone on a store on Capitol Boulevard run by an immigrant from Vietnam who mainly had Indian graduate students at NC State working for him, assembling those PC clones from parts. I'm giving you a feeling for what was going on in Raleigh at that time. So the fact that could he get motherboards locally to start his interest? Could he get graphics cards, mouse cases, power supplies? Yes. Raleigh was hot for it, and that place I mentioned wasn't the only one. Raleigh was hot for it. He built his first PC in 6th grade and soon began building PCs for others. See, he's just like that guy I knew. I'm trying to remember his personal name. Funny that it escapes me. I met him again years later when I was working at a big internationally known, internationally operating IT company, where he came in as a very high-paid consultant for business reorientation guidance at that company. He was a graduate of the Enlo. You just say Enlo. Everybody knows where that is. And NC State. I worked at NC State when I came to Raleigh. He has a degree in computer science with an emphasis on microprocessor architecture and design. Yes, back then that was one of the premier emphases of NC State's computer. They had computer science department and computer engineering department, not the same departments. Which one do you think he was in? Yeah, computer engineering. Can you tell I was on campus? Anand started AnandTech Anand started AnandTech in 1997 at age 15. And by the time he was 16, I was reading all the articles that he was publishing. I never met him personally. Now notice what I just said. I never met him personally. Hang on. He called it Anand's Hardware Tech page. He first started reviewing motherboards. Later he would go on to review CPUs, because you would buy different CPUs and put them on the motherboards. You could buy motherboards with and without CPUs, with or without. You could put it all together yourself, and that's what he specialized in for people like me. We'll go on to review CPUs, hard drives, RAM, and other computer components. His tech reviews were in-depth and thorough, yes, making it a preferred site for hardware engineers and enthusiasts. All my first computers, I built them myself. Receiving praise from Then he acted as editor-in-chief from 1997 to 2014, and that when it grew from a small GeoCities website as a column on there, in 1997 to a 50 million page view per month publication as of July 2005. And eventually what he did, in August 30th, 2014, he announced his decision to retire from the technology publishing industry and to work at Apple's hardware technology division. Now, I want to go back. You notice what I said. I never met him, but I knew his father. I knew his father because as the introduction to his father, I took a night course as part of Wake Tech Community College in their Capitol Boulevard temporary campus, which doesn't exist today. And I took a C++ programming course at night from his father. And after that programming course, oh, yeah, this is when he was a kid. This is him as an adult. I knew his father. Now, I didn't see him. I took the course. I did very well. But there was a reason why we had a little bit of a connection. Actually, I bumped into Lal. Now, that's his father's name. The dad. A number of times right here. This was a neighborhood close to where I was living when I lived at one of the places I lived in Raleigh. Now this is what this building looks like. I met and talked with his father several times outside, standing outside this building after we both went here for the same reason. Now this is what this building looks like today. But here's what it looks like in 2007. It was the Oberlin Road post office. And right across the street was the Harris Teeter. And a number of times I would bump into his dad. Here. Anand's dad, Lal. I don't know if they tore the whole building down or this is a completely redo. But the Harris Teeter's still there. Okay? Now, it was in one of these conversations that I found out in talking with his dad that his dad used to teach in another state up north. And I said, well, you taught at that university? That's where when I went back to college, that's where I finished my bachelor's degree and my master's degree. He said, really? And I said, yeah, I'm from, and I named my town. No, I'm not telling you. I told the name of the town, which was about 20 miles from that university campus. He said, really? My best friend, an Indian guy, this is Anand's father, Lal, talking to me. My best friend owns a variety store there. And he was referring to this store right here. That doesn't look like a variety store. This is a street where I grew up. A street in the town where I grew up. But if we look back to about the time we're talking about, you can see you can get Marlboro cigarettes, you can get 32 ounces for $3, you're talking about soda. This was a variety store run by another Indian immigrant who was a close friend of a professor at a university in that area who later moved to Raleigh. So the father of this guy, who created a website as a 16-year-old, it became the standard for people like me who wanted to build and understand the latest things that are available for building computers, network, and all that shit. It turns out that I never met him, but I knew his father, and his father had been to my hometown and had a friend who ran a store where when I did occasional home visits I bought stuff in that store from that guy. It's a small world. It's a small world. I've had so many experiences like this. So I remember when that all began, and I spotted it on News for Nerds. Steve AB40, just reminiscing a little bit. AnandTech shuts down after 27-year run, saying see you in 73.